This propaganda poster shows how the U.S. Army waged psychological warfare against the Japanese in China. A Chinese soldier, a rifle on his back and a bayonet in his hand, steps on a Japanese soldier. But the Type 88 rifle in the picture was a point of dispute at the time, as the Chinese troops had already been armed with the more advanced Chiang Kai-shek rifle, the M1 automatic rifle, and the Thompson submachine gun. Why then was the old Type 88, which had appeared as early as 1895, chosen for such a picture?
近代中国啊，它可以说是占有巨大重大地位的。当时人们曾经用8个字来概括它，叫做“无军不用，无鱼不育”。
Although China was able to manufacture the superior Chiang Kai-shek rifle in 1935, by 1945 only 400,000 such rifles were produced. As a matter of course, the Type 88 was always the first choice for the Chinese military.
太阳照到14年的生产，据统计，大约生产110万只。
Still, some scholars argue that having a large quantity isn't the same as having good quality. The Type 38 rifle used by the Japanese was much more advanced than the Type 88, so this weapon wasn't a threat. Is this the truth?
弹道是这样，口径是7.92，初速大概是640左右，弹丸的口径呢比较大，弹丸的质量也比较大，枪口动能比较大，所以说它的杀伤威力还是不错的。
The Type 38 rifle has a high accuracy rate. The 6.5mm cartridge and long barrel ensure ballistic stability. That said, the Type 38 rifle's lethality is not satisfactory. If
重要的部位，心脏、头，那么可能人不会丧失战斗力。
The Type 88 uses a 7.92mm bullet. Because of its relatively heavy weight, this bullet is far more lethal.
"咱们这个弹击中人体目标之后，会造成迅速的翻转，甚至弹头破裂，那么对人造成一个内部的伤伤比较大。也就是说，咱们人比如说击中目标之后，从前面看是一个眼儿，那比如说转到背面，可能内脏已经被这个弹丸绞没了。
Compared to other guns, the Type 88 could cause more serious injuries to the Japanese. Left with a gaping wound, the soldier would suffer from continuous bleeding when removing the bullet. Full recovery would be impossible. In terms of lethality, the Type 88 is better than the Type 38. It managed to send a chill down Japanese soldiers' backs. The Type 88's history can be traced back to the end of the Qing dynasty. In 1891, Zhang Zhidong, a prominent politician, gave the go-ahead for the construction of the Hanyang arsenals at the base of the Guishan Mountain in Hubei province.
它这个动工的是1891年2月到1894年6月投产，技术设备是从这个比利时、德国和英国引进的。它当时来说，不但是在亚洲是最先进的，而且在欧洲也在先进行列。
To produce the best rifle in the world, Zhang Zhidong decided to purchase equipment from Germany's Ludwig Loh factory that could manufacture 50 IG model 71 to 84 Mausers per day. However, construction was suspended. When Zhang was informed that the German army was armed with Steyr Mannlicher M1888, he decided to order the new rifle and related equipment without knowing its basic functions. Zhang asked the Chinese envoy to Germany, Zhu Jingqing, to order the new weapon and added 450,000 marks for the purchase. Though the M1888 was called the Mauser rifle, it had nothing to do with the Mauser company. Since German businessmen thought that Chinese politicians were easy to cheat, they lied and said that the M1888 was a Mauser rifle and sold many to China, including its design. Though the Chinese government was duped, it has to be admitted that the M1888 was one of the best rifles in the world. It absorbed the advantages of other rifles while jettisoning their flaws and was packed full of functionality. With the most advanced design at the time, the 7.92mm rifle was reliable. Its bullet is made of an alloy of tin and lead, better protecting the rifling. It was also the first rifle in Germany to use smokeless powder.
无烟的话，它有一个好处，第一不熏士兵的眼睛，第二就是它对这个枪械的维护保养有好处。过去的黑火药呢，燃烧完之后它是有，火药杂质比较重，时间长了累积之后呢，枪械这个操作可能会有问题。
A barrel shroud was added to the M1888 to prevent soldiers from directly holding the gun and getting burnt. Since the rifle was introduced to China in 1895, it had been widely used in the Chinese army until the end of the War of Resistance against Japanese aggression. In 1897, guns produced by local factories were gathered in a national expo for a comparison, among which the Kuali rifle from the General Bureau of Machine Manufacture of Jiangnan was widely recognized as being the most advanced. However, the rifle from the Hanyang arsenal stood out in people's minds. With 90% of shooting being on target some 300 meters away, the M1888 built its reputation for the longest range and highest accuracy during the Qing dynasty. Years later, the factory made some improvements to the M1888, including the absence of the barrel shroud, an extension of the barrel from 13.4mm to 14.8mm, and an arcing rear sight. The improved M1888 was named after the Hanyang arsenal as the Hanyang Type 88, which became the most advanced factory arsenal in China at the time.
"日产量大约是50支，月产1500支，枪弹的话呢是8000万颗。
Most of the Type 88s were used to arm Zhang Zhidong's new army, which was then regarded as an elite troop. This was largely because of its German and Japanese military instructors and for its weapon, the Type 88. In 1906, workers at the Anyuan coal mine revolted and initially prevailed over the government troops. However, after the new army arrived at Pingliuli at the junction of Hunan and Jiangxi province, the uprising was suppressed using the advanced Type 88. following revolts in Huanghuagang of Guangzhou and Jinnangguang Pass, led by revolutionary Sun Yat-sen, suffered the same fate. As their only straw to grab at, the Qing government sent the new army to suppress uprisings across the country. Then Chinese revolutionaries realized the importance of sophisticated weaponry and armed troops. When they recognized the power of the Type 88, they decided to employ another strategy.
湖北革命党人他是采取打入新军内部，利用新军变成自己的革命力量。
Possessing the most advanced arsenal in China at the time was another reason the revolution broke out in Wuchang. Once the revolt succeeded, the factory could continuously provide revolutionaries with weapons. On October 10, 1911, an armed revolution that completely changed the Chinese people's destiny began in a barracks of the new army. To the Chuangtai Armory, where over 20,000 Hanyang Type 88s were stored. During the following 40 days, 15 provinces declared independence, whilst workers were busy producing as many Type 88 rifles as they could. Its daily production reached 60 rifles. Students also armed themselves, joining the revolution.
1911年辛亥革命的时候，毛泽东那时候很年轻，17岁，就参加了湖南新军，在里面当了半年列兵。
On his first day in the army, Mao received a Type 88, which accompanied him for the following half year. 15 years later, Mao initiated the Autumn Harvest Uprising and raised the slogan, "Political power grows out of the barrel of a gun." In response to the Nanchang Uprising in the same year, led by Zhou Enlai, Ye Ting, He Long, and Zhu De. All political and military parties chose the Type 88 as their weapon and regarded its production base at the Hanyang Arsenal as their target. During the War of Resistance against Japanese aggression, Chinese soldiers used the Type 88 to deliver a massive blow to the Japanese despite heavy casualties. In February 1938, the factory was renamed the No. 1 Arsenal. After the Nanjing Massacre, the Japanese headed for Wuhan, attempting to occupy the arsenal and conquer China in 3 months. During the following 3 months, Chinese airmen fought bravely against Japanese air attacks with their lackluster aircraft. Chiang Kai-shek visited the arsenal and observed the production line. He ordered the relocation of the factory to the western regions as the Japanese drew nearer. It remained uncertain, however, whether such a large arsenal could be totally relocated and continue to produce weapons.
日军轰炸武汉，这样汉阳厂呢用船把汉阳厂设备都运到重庆重新投产，就是说他在7个月之间把一个厂全都拆走，拆到一个连火车都不通的山洞里，一个城市的山洞里，重新投产，就开始生产，这是一个我们现在做不到。
In the pictures provided by Mr. Zhu, there are 2 Hanyang Type 88 rifles that were made in different places. The left one, carved with a 5-pointed star, was produced by the Hanyang Arsenal before its relocation in May 1938, while the right one, carved with a swastika, was produced by the relocated arsenal in February 1939, Chongqing. The date showed that a large amount of equipment was moved from Wuhan to Chongqing within a half a year, and that manufacturing was restarted in short order. Though the Type 88 was of great importance to China, it was already out of date compared to other weapons in the world. Compared to the Type 38 rifle, its specs were out of date. Its shortcomings could not be overcome.
导引件之间有个间隙，对吧？这个间隙如果被一些异物，咱们说沙子也好啊，这个灰尘也好，刚才说火药残渣也好，堆积的比较多了，那么它运动起来就不灵活，有可能有卡滞，比如说拉到一半儿，就卡在这儿了，别到那儿了，那么这就会造成故障。对于正在作战的这个士兵来说呢，那这个是非常危险的。
Although the designed range of the Type 88 is 1,200 meters, the effective range can reach only 800 meters due to the poor quality of the barrel. The aging rifle could only hit a target 200 meters away. The Japanese Type 38 rifle, however, could hit a target 500 meters away.
日本它3把大盖，它能反杀，它搞定一个盖子，我们叫气井，它就是路，它这个后的头子，它有一道分，它的后坐力很小，我们这个枪的这个后坐力特别大。
Because of its innate shortcomings, the Chinese soldiers armed with Type 88s had to fight in close combat and rely on guerrilla tactics that the CPC was undoubtedly good at. On September 25, 1937, 3 regiments of the 8th Route Army ambushed a Japanese supply motorcade near Pingjingguan Pass, killing more than 1,000 Japanese. The first significant victory of the Chinese people in the resistance war heartened the whole country, while most Chinese soldiers present at the battle were armed with the Type 88. 3 years later, 200,000 soldiers from 105 regiments of the 8th Route Army waged 1,800 battles against more than 2,900 enemy strongholds in North China, incurring heavy enemy losses. Many experts admit that the Type 88 was undoubtedly much older than the weapons like the Czechoslovakian rifle and the Chiang Kai-shek rifle. and in 1944 its production ended prior to the end of World War II. Later in the Chinese Civil War and the Korean War, the Type 88 was still widely used by the Chinese troops.
一直到70年代，在70年代，在一些农村那些民兵用的那个枪还是那样。我原来在公社里的时候，那个民兵背的那个枪，那就是还是那个汉阳造了。
In this photo taken in the 1970s, militiamen are training with Type 88s. In China, it was used as a standard issue arm for 70 years, the longest period of use among the rifles of the world. The monuments of the uprising in Wuchang and Nanchang and the monument to the people's heroes at Tiananmen Square commemorate not only the achievements made by revolutionary martyrs, but also the Type 88's contribution to their cause that lasted more than half a century. A pistol, cursed for its poor accuracy by Europeans, turned out to be well operated by Chinese soldiers. It was unpopular in its motherland, but more than 1/3 of the guns manufactured ended up in China. In Europe, it was just a pistol, but in China, it was used as a submachine gun. Please join us for part 4 of Super Weapons, Mauser C96. On June 6, 1916, Yuan Shikai passed away. Soon afterwards, China slipped into a 12-year-long entanglement between warlords, which interfered with imperialist interests in China. On May 5, 1919, 11 countries signed an assault arms embargo against China. Now that rifles and cannons were embargoed, the warlords turned their eyes towards Germany and Mauser pistols.
"这支枪它真正的名字呢，就是应该叫德国造毛瑟1896式7.63毫米手枪。
The C96 can be holstered inside a box-like wooden attachment. English speakers called it the broom handle. The Chinese people called it the box cannon. According to a March 1927 internal memo by the Spanish gunmaker Astra, the Japanese were selling between 1,000 to 1,500 units to the Chinese monthly. Other exporters included Germany, UK, the US, and Spain. It was so widely issued to the Chinese military that an army of several thousand soldiers used Mauser's C96 as their primary service firearm, which was unprecedented in recorded history. The Mauser saw extensive service in the Northwestern Army led by Feng Yuxiang, a warlord previously allied with Chiang Kai-shek, who looked to the Mauser as the ace up his sleeve. It was even issued to 3,000 forlorn soldiers in a 1926 battle between the KMT troops and troops in northern Shanxi. Why was the Mauser pistol so popular? After all, it was only a handgun.
我们部队装备的很多步枪，绝大部分都是采用这种非自动的，
就是打一发扣一，打一发装一发，打一发装一发。这个枪不用，直接扣就行，扣一次第二次就可以。第二次给刺一发枪呢是自动入膛的。
Close combat was most common in China. Because of the lack of machine guns and artillery, the Mauser C96 evolved from a self-defense pistol to a primary assault weapon. Countries enforcing the arms embargo ignored Mauser pistols. In their eyes, Mausers were useless. By the end of the 19th century, self-loading pistols emerged and the military of various countries called for replacements. This made Paul Mauser, after whom the pistol was later named, realize that he might have a handgun that fit their requirements.
1893年啊，在毛瑟兵工厂的一个叫费德勒的3个兄弟，枪工，3个枪工是兄弟3个人，他们3个研制的。
What gave Paul Mauser such confidence? The Federle brothers' design applied an automatic short recoil mechanism. It had a fixed 10-round magazine and fired at hundreds of rounds per minute, far outperforming a revolver. Mauser expected it to be a commercial winner, just like his rifle, but that was not to be. Instead of becoming a hit, the pistol became the laughingstock of the military. Although well made, the Mauser pistol was too expensive for any European military force.
它这个结构零件呢比较零散，比较多，分解起来没有人家那个简便快捷。
The manufacturing process of a Mauser C96 is complicated with 30 separate parts. Most are made manually.
我们现在看到的就是毛瑟手枪7.63毛瑟的这个全自动手枪。我们特别介绍一下这个发射机，它的所有的零件没有专门的削和轴，而都是靠毛榫结构结合在一起，制造非常精密。
The precise design and sophisticated manufacturing meant a Mauser C96 cost $25, much more than the $6 pistols that were widely used by the military. The exterior shape of the C96 military pistol, a square frame with a long barrel and magazine in the front, also caused controversy. With an overall length of 311 millimeters and an unloaded weight of 1.25 kilograms, the pistol was both oversized and clumsy. The unique grip was why it was nicknamed the broom handle.
这个就是给它体积大有关系啊。携行的不方便，尤其是它又是一个木盒子包装。你包括在这个德国，它当时那个在2战的时候都是摩托化了，你这个枪挂个腰际，它坐摩托车是很不舒服的，叮叮咣当的。
Perhaps the most damning was that the Mauser had poor accuracy.
开始这个德国和美国选型是吧？它的枪口上翘的厉害。这个上翘的人呢，你就是1.5米到2米那么高吧？你要是这么一打一跳，不就是容易这个命中不了目标嘛？
An 1898 test report by the Swiss military rated the Mauser C96 as the least accurate pistol. The rating discouraged military powers to place orders. Though the report also critiques the Luger pistol, Hugo Borchardt made alterations. The improved and well-known Luger P-08 contrasted noticeably with the Mauser C-96, which kept its original design almost unchanged until 1939, when its manufacture ended. Widely issued to German troops and other European military powers, statistics reveal that 2 million Luger P-08s were manufactured before production ceased in 1946. During that same period, 1.5 million Mauser C-96s were produced. So where did these unpopular Mausers go?
哪怕就是从1925年到1935年，德国光就向中国说这个倾销的枪就达40多万支。
Although unsuccessful in Europe, Paul Mauser soon received large orders from Asia. Statistics reveal that of the 1.5 million Mausers produced from 1896 to 1939, 1/3 was sold to China. New orders poured in, confirming Paul's stubborn belief that there was no need for changes to his design. Why did the Chinese favor the Mauser, an expensive and hard-to-control pistol? One man's trash was another man's treasure.
外形是很文武，并且就是很有威慑力。在当时那个年代，对于有这个枪有威慑力，还有这个威武，这是一个很大的一个，也是一个需求吧。
Compared to other pistols, the Mauser C-96 looked imposing, earning itself the nickname the box cannon in China. Moreover, its magazine held 10 rounds, outnumbering other firearms.
它一个是它的容弹量大，再一个就是它的是一个半自动型的，甚至是全自动型的。你就像尤其是在这个遭遇战中、近距离作战中，它这个火力，你那个步枪你还没有拉一下，它好几发子弹出去了，恨不得10发子弹都能出去。所以说你这个不是一个数量级的。
As a self-loading pistol, after firing the first round, a Mauser C-96 can automatically load the next bullet into the chamber. Compared to an old-fashioned bolt-action rifle, which has to be reloaded after each shot, a Mauser is obviously superior. It's rather misleading for the sights to be graduated out to an optimistic 1,000 meters. Conventionally, a pistol's range is 50 meters. Even a rifle's range is only 300 to 400 meters. However, the designer had his own reasons for doing this.
当时的一战时期的作战的习惯有关，因为当时这个作战的时候，他就是说，比如我们发现这个侦察兵发现远方，比如在1000米、2000米有敌人的时候，他往往这时候是要开枪的，他不是不开枪，他把这个枪的角度掰到最大，来打这个，就是说，我即使打不着你，即使子弹到那个地方没有威力了，但是我要让你知道，我已经发现你了，我在打你了。
It is perhaps difficult to truly understand the designer's intention, but to a Mauser user, a pistol with sights calibrated to 1,000 meters would appear to have a longer shooting range. The 1920s witnessed frequent warfare among Chinese warlords. Statistics show that over 400 battles occurred between 1916 and 1928 in Sichuan alone, averaging 2 times a month.
逆空打正规战很少，都是内战，军阀之间内战。内战这个，而且都是非正，不是现在的正，像第一次战正规作战。这时候呢，这个火力配系也不是那么严格，打起战争的战斗形式呢也不是那么严格，所以最常用的就是手枪都能用。
Through frequent skirmishes, Chinese combatants soon became aware of the advantages of the self-loading Mauser, a continuous firepower at a high muzzle velocity, higher magazine capacity, and superior range. It was very appealing. But accuracy was still of primary importance. How then did a Mauser, considered lackluster by Swiss military standards, perform in China?
美国的一个枪械专家就说呢，毛瑟枪在中国被中国人使用的出神入化。
In April 1930, local warlords Yan Zhishan, Feng Yuxiang, and Li Zongren waged war against Chiang Kai-shek. Feng's northwestern army was ultimately defeated. Outnumbered by enemy troops, Battalion Commander Liu Shusun fired his Mauser pistol at 2 flying birds. Bang, bang! They were dead, frightening off the enemy. How could the Mauser, rated as the worst firearm by the European military, shoot so accurately in China? This also puzzled Paul Mauser. He sent people to China for an answer, only to be surprised at the report. The Chinese had discovered the way to fire this pistol.
它因为坐力非常大，你比如连发的时候或者单发的时候，一打啪往起蹦，这枪管往起蹦，枪头往起蹦。
中国军人在实践中上，我说把它歪一下，这样的话呢，我可以继续，你还可以上下跳，你上下变成左右跳。这个使用方法呢，外国人也比较欣赏，是中国人有一个很大的发明，克服了毛瑟手枪的这个最大的上跳的问题。
With horizontal shooting, the upright pistol was tilted to one side. Such a small change greatly improved the pistol's accuracy. When the fully automatic M1932 machine pistol was introduced, this method of firing became extremely popular.
他就利用他这个枪口上跳，而在全自动射击的时候，我给它变成扫射功了。
In 1932, improvements were made on the Mauser C96, turning it into a true combat machine pistol.
它用2种弹匣，一个是10发弹匣，一个是那个20发弹匣。你想，它再快的、再慢，还能得到，可能基本就一眨眼，就那个20发子弹就全出去了。
On May 25, 1935, the CPC troops crossed the Dadu River in Sichuan. On May 26th, on the order of the party led by Mao Zedong and Zhou Enlai, the CPC 4th Regiment set out on a forced march for Luding Bridge. Upon their arrival on May 29th, it spearheaded a sudden attack against the KMT garrison at the other end of the bridge. Such combat highlighted the advantages of the M1932 issued to the 22 advancing soldiers. The KMT defensives quickly folded.
那个时间很短啊！你想，这个枪的射频，一般的低的射频都在每分钟600-700发。你想那20发，一般手枪的这个射频还要高一点，因为它这个枪机的行程很短。
In the 1920s, submachine guns were widely adopted by nations, replacing rifles of low-intensity firepower for short-range combat. By 1936, their development and manufacture became a mature industry for the military powers. However, Mauser pistols remained a big-ticket item on the nationalist government's import list. It had been a decade since the lifting of the arms embargo. Why did the KMT government still prefer Mausers to other firearms? Price was a factor, but the main reason was that submachine guns were too complicated for domestic manufacturers to clone. The M1932, on the other hand, had a slot cut in the grip frame to accommodate the attachment, which once attached proved just as powerful as a machine gun.
它那个驳壳枪那个木盒子，在这个西方国家里面用的比较少，中国的没有了，没有的话，我用盒子可以必要时候也可以当冲锋枪用，所以这样的话，中国人对壳子呢特别看重。
Based on the exchange rate in 1936, an M1932 cost just $37. Because the pistol circumvented the arms embargo, the inexpensive but powerful Mauser delivered suppressive firepower, aiding a combatant's sudden advance. This explains why the Chinese military continued to place large orders for Mausers.
当时毛瑟的枪，你想它最早的这个型号就是半自动这个型号是10发的，固定弹匣的10发的，然后后来的就是到了20发的，所以它这个近战遭遇战中，它这个火力持续性，它这个优势要比步枪要大得多。
From 1937, the Mauser saw extensive service in the War of Resistance against Japanese aggression. In the TV series, The Snow Leopard, it was issued to a special ops unit of the 8th Route Army as a primary service firearm. Attached with its shoulder stock, the Mauser delivered suppressive fire against the enemy in a close combat zone. This is a photo from the same period of a female soldier on sentry duty with her Mauser attached to its shoulder stock. Whether in photos or in the field, the Mauser proved popular throughout China. This is another photo from the Battle of Shanghai. The Mauser pistol saw service in close-quarters combat of the KMT Sabre and Mauser task force against the enemy, striking fear in the Japanese invaders. Its superior performance earned it the reputation of being the best pistol on Earth, leading to a market for domestic knockoffs. One clone is this carbine rifle produced by the Tianjin Arsenal. This single-shot pistol is kept at a museum in Sichuan. Though humble, it's obviously a cottage reproduction of the Mauser. No other pistol has left such a profound impression on the Chinese people as the Mauser pistol. In China, at the mere mention of the word pistol, one would immediately think of the Mauser. Thus began the era of automatic weaponry, allowing the military to use far fewer weapons to defeat a greater number of enemy combatants. They were so expensive that even Li Hongzhang, the pro-modernization general, was startled by the price. It rendered centuries-old army tactics obsolete, earning it the nickname Grim Reaper. Please join us for Part 5 of Super Weapons, the Maxim Heavy Machine Gun.